Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions Podcast, episode 173. This is going to be an odd one. It's going to be a two-parter. Part one, or should I say part A, or part one and part two will both be on Spotify. Part one will only be on YouTube. Uh, so before we begin, I do want to recognize the show supporters, Stickbow, Stickbow Country, Custom Arrows, stickbowsupplies.com, Sauk Trail Archery, Traps Feather Rests, Stickbow Hunts MX.com, Whiskey City Gear.com, Jessie Savage Blacksmith.com, Traditional Bowhunter Magazine. Who am I forgetting here? St. Joe River Bow Company. Um, you people know who you are. The comments or the sponsors will be listed in the description down below in YouTube. But at any rate, I want to thank you all. It's going to be a special edition tonight. You can see I'm wounded here, little scope cut. Um, but what we're going to do tonight, we're going to talk about my involvement with Jack Howard and a project I did back in 2000, I believe in 2008. Jack passed away October 29th, 2005. He was 83 years old. He fell off the roof of his house, fixing the roof of his house, and I think he broke his neck. And he was no longer with us past that date. Um, so a couple of years went by. The shop was left to itself. It was a home shop, whereas him and his wife just ran it. He was a man of very little fame and exposure. He was a very quiet individual. Did not like to have interviews, people in his face, stuff like that. Very private man. He was very meticulous. He was a craftsman, a genius as far as the bow is concerned. Um, he made several models, and we're going to get to them in a little while. But he was actually he always killed big elk with his Game Master, just the Game Master bow, which I'll show you one of those in a little bit. Um, just known for his hunting prowess. He would go out in the hills there. He lived, well, actually, they lived. They were married in 1947, him and Dorothy. And let me show you Dorothy. Dorothy, this is her. I don't know if you can see that. Shit. Yeah, this is not good. At any rate, well, I thought it would work, but it doesn't. So we're going to skip the photos. You'll have to go onto my Facebook page to see photos. I've posted them this week of his bows and her and whatnot. So Facebook, Rich Lopez, and you'll see all that stuff. So at any rate, let's get on with it. So in 2008, with the help of old friend Jack Millier of Georgia and Ray Rohn of California, I was tasked with finishing bows that were left in the shop in various stages of completion. Most of them were in for repairs and refinishing. I've got a list here of the bows, and I will do each one individually, and we'll talk about it. The first one was a Game Master. Let me see if I can get this picture up of a Game Master and bring that to your viewing pleasure. Come on. Can you see that shit? It had a curved, very average looking bow, had some contours to it, nothing great. It was made of micarta, and I think that the wood in it is bloodwood, or vermilion, if you will. It is vermilion and black micarta, with maple laminations, and they were about 66 inches when they first started out. He later went to 64 inches to accommodate short bow need, if you will, in the industry. So it was a game master. It was serial number E211. Early 60s, probably early to mid 60s. It was right-handed, 45 pounds. The upper limb was missing a tip overlay, several handwritten markings, including markings to drill two holes on the opposite of the shelf side for a quickie quiver bushing install. Um, this list was made for me by Ray Roan, and basically the disposition was to replace the tip on the upper limb and refinish the bow, which I did. Okay, that one, all these bows, I think there was one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight of them. I sold on eBay to help Dorothy out because she was left with nothing after he died. There was nothing for her. They didn't have 401ks. They had no investments, none of that stuff. So she was basically left to herself and basically destitute. So from Ray Roan and Jack May approached me to help her out, knowing that I do repair and refinish work, and I did. So all these bows were sold on eBay. All the proceeds went to Dorothy. The only thing I asked for was to be reimbursed for the shipping. That was it. That was my good deed for that year. So the next bow was the Game Master Jet. So I think I could show you one so you guys have an idea what one looks like. This is a Jack Howard Game Master Jet. There's the Jack Howard logo. And down here it says Game Master Jet. And this bow has no, oh yeah, it's serial number F, as in Frank, 156, 52 pounds. Now, Jack was not known for making bows that were lightweight. His bows averaged in the 60s and high 50s, poundage wise. But this one here that I just showed you was given to him by Jack Millet. And as you can see, yeah, she's a goner. But I have plans for her. I think I'm going to make a takedown. Make this a takedown. We'll figure it out. But at any rate, the next bow is a Game Master Jet, and it is actually a real early one. F31 is the serial number. It's right-handed, 51 pounds. The tips are bad, so it was listed as a shootable candidate, but to be modified, which I did. I cut the tips off, shortened the bow. It was now 64 inches, and I retipped it and ground down the limbs to lighten the weight up, and I got it back to 51 pounds. Because when I put the tip overlays on with the shortened limbs, it was like almost 60 pounds. It was heavy. That again sold on eBay. Third one, Game Master Jet, another one of those. Serial number F as in Frank 327, right-handed, 57 pounds. This was disgusting. It was actually camel painted, and dude, it looked like vomit, pretty much. It was terrible looking. You'll see the pictures of that one on my Facebook page. It was green, red, yellow, all sorts of weird camo blotches all over this bow. It was disgusting. Some of the camo came to me, it was sanded off on the limbs on some of it. The draw weight needed to be reduced. After that bow needed to be shortened also, so that was brought down to 64 inches. So I retipped it and refinished it completely without the camo finish. I don't have pictures of the after products. That was at a time where digital photography was just not a thing. It was a thing, but I was not doing anything with that. I just wanted to get these out of here and move on. So that one came out pretty good. Trying to see what we're doing time-wise here. Yeah. Oh, it's recording. We're good. All these sold on eBay. So Game Master Jet number 4. So serial number F as in Frank 658, right-handed, 55 pounds. Again, tips are bad. Somebody probably used a fast flight string on this sucker and cut right through the string grooves. And the riser has a crack in it from the sight window down into the grip. So basically, I took that bow, I pinned it, Loctite in the crack of the riser, pinned it both sides, and then I re-overlaid the tips, but I reinforced them with micarta. So that bow was 57 pounds, retipped, refinished, and shootable again. That was sold. Um, yeah, no, it's 55 pounds. Um, the sight window was cut to center, and it seemed to, I think Jack modified it right at the shelf there. Took about that much off the riser itself in the shelf area, not the shelf, but the sight window area, and recessed it back to center shoot the actual bow. Jack was notorious for just doing whatever the customer wanted, and that's true custom. So, cheers. One, two, three, four. Number five, serial number F as in Frank 334, right hand, 56 pounds. Says here, top limb was taped as though it was a temporary fix. The only thing that was noticed when the tape was removed, that some of the glue residue that was that the finish was rubbed off on one side. Jack put an inscription on the side, which is barely legible. There were two holes there for a quickie quiver and two holes on the back for a sight. Finish was excellent, but this thing needed some work. So I filled the holes, cleaned off the residue, spot refinished on the limb, and sold that. I wish I could show you these photos. You're just going to have to go to the Facebook page, folks, because they're there. And then number six, another Game Master jet, F as in Frank, 625. I don't know what the F means. So there's a lot of Fs in these serial numbers. F625, right hand, 64 inches. The belly glass on the bottom limb has a broken spot. Basically, it was fractured. Yes, it's repairable, and I did repair it. There's no holes on this one. The finish is excellent. So I was able to spot refinish that limb and sell that. Then as we got into the later years, I mean, in the 2000s, 90s, and the 2000s, he started putting last edition because I guess he was getting near to retirement age. Well, he was 83 when he passed away, and he was still making bows. Um, so this one is F625 right hand, 64 pounds. Yeah, I already talked about that one. That one, I fixed that and sold that. And then there's another, the last edition here is serial number F742, right hand, 59 inches, 59 pounds. Man, I'm all over the place here. The glass on the belly side is broken in the middle and of the bottom limb. It's signed, autographed by Jack. Two holes for a quickie quiver. Finish is excellent. That one, the glass was broken all the way through, so I sold it as a wall hanger. Wall art, bow art, if you will, for lack of a better term. And then the last one I had was another last edition, serial number F as in Frank, 922, right hand, 55 pounds. Glass on the belly side is cracked on one edge of the bottom limb. Signed and autographed, two holes for a quickie quiver. Yeah, there were a lot of people shooting quickie quivers out of back then. Finish was excellent. I was able to fix that and did a spot repair and refinish and sold that one. So that being said, that does it for those bows. That was actually project number two. Project number one were two bows that were his Game Master, okay, which was the one I showed you earlier with the curved line and all that. Anyway, he made two that he was putting in a lamination of carbon, and they were called the Game Master Carbon Classic. Okay, I have pictures of them, and I'm gonna have to probably get back away from this camera to show you what they look like. This sucks. Well, again, sorry, folks. I'm trying to do something here, and my printer's on the shit, so wasn't able to print out pictures. So anyway, Those were 50% complete. So I got those and I did them prior to this project with the other bows and was able to finish them within specification, finish them and sell them as, each individually. There were two: Carbon Classic number one, Carbon Classic number two. And they were sold on eBay as well. And the proceeds went to Mrs. Howard. And I was only reimbursed for shipping on all these bows. It was an honor and a pleasure to do them. Dorothy sent me a beautiful handwritten note afterwards, thanking me for all my efforts. And as a gift, she sent me all of Jack's original Game Master Jet decals that he had left in the shop, and which are now owned by David Morley, who's a massive collector of his bows. But at any rate, he wrote numerous articles for Bowhunter Magazine, Archery World, Archery Magazine. Um, he was an amazing man. Um, I corresponded with him every once in a while, and he sent me a letter, because I wanted one of his bows, sent me a price list and all that stuff, and I settled on a 53-pound, 66-inch Game Master Jet, which I no longer own, but it was incredible. He was His house and his shop was in Nevada City, California, and Ray Roan was able to go to the old shop and assess the bows and put together that list for me and box them up and ship them to me. It was amazing when they all arrived. It was one giant box, and all those bows were in this one giant box. I could imagine what that cost to ship. Uh, so my buddy Jim Raines and I were in my man cave in my old house in Maryland, and we unboxed every one at a time, assess them, take notes, take pictures. Again, on the Facebook page, you'll see them there. And what else do I got here? Oh yeah. So anytime you reached out to Jack, he would send you, you know, I know that's a Game Master Jet. Okay. That's what it looked like. And in here, basically, you would have information. He also made arrows. He made everything. I mean, God, he made his own broadheads. It was an archery shop. You could just shop there. And this is pre-internet. He didn't get involved in any of that. And he would send you a catalog, and this is the catalog, the Bowhunter's catalog. And in here, just treasure trove of information. He actually sold camo stencils and camo paints. You could do his bows the way he wanted them. He actually did sell a factory camo Game Master Jet. Typically, it was a maple riser with just black glass on one side, white glass on the other side, and he would just paint it camo. And then you paid, I think, $15 or $20 extra to have him camo paint your bow. So that's kind of retarded. Bear Archery was kind of the same way. You paid $15 for camo finish. Yeah, take a nice, beautiful bow and just spray paint it. What else did he make? Oh, he sold Merrill sights. What else we got in here? Range finders. He made his bowstrings. Okay, so a guy named Charlie Lamb was replicating those bowstrings using Irish linen, white Irish linen. So this is them there. Um, there's no price guide in here, but just amazing stuff. Oh, and he also made a bow. He promoted a bow called the Jack Howard Hunter, which was essentially it was a Howard Hunter, but had his name on it, and it was made by Damon Howard around the early 70s. Again, that's on my page. So you'll have to go there, guys. Rich Lopez, Facebook. What else we got here? I mean, he's published a lot of stuff here. The Game Master, the only bow of its kind. Um, you know, Jack Howard hunting bow, all this information about his hunting bows. He was an amazing man. I mean, He would send you a whole treasure trove of information once you wrote him a letter, because that was before the internet. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. I mean, what else can I tell you? I mean, the guy was an amazing guy. Talked to him a few times on the phone. Jack Millier and I are still good friends. I saw him a couple months ago. He was up here for a cruise, or down here, I should say, for a cruise. Ray Rowan, I have not spoken to probably since then, so I need to talk to him. I need to give him a call. I got his number out today. But at any rate, what else can I talk about? I mean, that was an amazing project. I mean, I got it done. Took me a couple of months, probably an entire summer to get them all done. Uh, all barring all the other bows I had to repair and refinish. But yes, Dorothy unfortunately is no longer with us. Last I heard, she was in a home years and years ago, right late 2000s, and she passed away. Unfortunately. I mean, think about it. He was 83 when he fell off the roof in 2005, so they would be well into their hundreds by now. Um, the shop, I they were trying to sell the business. Okay, it's in California, so that's a pretty hefty thing to do because you'd have to get a tractor trailer, rent a transport. All the equipment was handmade and put together by Jack. The place had been broken into several times, and a lot of stuff was stolen. Materials, all the rosewood, all the phenolic, all that stuff was stolen. So they wanted like $60,000 for the business, and there was nothing there, really. A couple pieces of machinery, and that's it. Very little in materials, so it was not even really worth it. I offered him 15,000. Well, nobody even batted an eye on it. I mean, I think one of the nephews was handling the estate, and it never sold. So, and that's that. I have the plans. Dorothy did send me all the plans for Jack's bows. So at some point when I retire, eventually, I'm going to try and my hand at making them. We shall see. I'm not promising anything, but at any rate, that's about it for tonight, folks. It's a short one, but again, check out Spotify for parts one and parts two, and this video will only be on Spotify on YouTube. So check them out. And guys, thanks again for the support. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Take care of each other. Mental health is a big thing in America today. See something, say something. Don't be afraid of it. And that's it. I'll see you all next week. Love you. Bye.